Welcome everyone to another episode of Time for BL. This is the podcast where we review movies, TV shows, novels, and comics, all in the boys love genre. Look, I know there's a lot of stuff out there that I could be talking about. I could be completing Check Out the Series. I could finally talk about Turn Type 2 and Don't Say No and why I actually like Don't Say No. I could be discussing Love in the Air episode 4. But am I doing any of that? No. Because I want to take the time to talk about Ossan's love. Because this is what happened. I was just looking for a random thing to watch to fill in the void. Like random shows just to watch to keep me entertained until Thursday and Friday and Saturday when the main shows I'm watching that are airing come out. Love in the Air, My Only 12%, The Eclipse, and vice versa. And I was like, this show looks like an office romance. Let me go ahead and check it out. Here's the problem. I did not watch the trailer. I did not read the description. I just looked at the side where it says it's like a business, on my drama list. It has that it's a business comedy romance. It has a bisexual male lead. I'm like, okay, this sounds interesting. Love triangle. I'm like, oh, okay, he's bisexual, so he's gonna have to choose between a man and a woman. All right, cool. Let me get into this. Again, did not read anything because I just thought I would know exactly what's going on. All right, let's talk about Ossan's love. Ossan's love follows Haruta Soichi. He is going on blind dates, trying to find a woman, getting drunk, and he's not popular with ladies whatsoever. Now his mom has decided that she's moving out because she's done taking care of this man child, and he needs to settle down, find a wife, and take care of himself. She's tired of having to be the one taking care of him. Now the next day he meets Maki, who he met the night before at the blind date, and finds out Maki is looking for somewhere to stay. So he says, hey, well, my mom just moved out. Do you want to move in with me? Maki can cook. Maki cleans. A perfect combination. He has someone to help him out with the chores and to cook for him because he is inept in the kitchen. Now, as this has happened, what's also happened is his boss, Kurosawa Musashi, my pronunciations are trash, but yeah, Kurosawa Musashi has confessed his love to him. He found a bunch of pictures on Kurosawa's phone, and Kurosawa confessed his love with a huge bouquet. Now, one of the issues is Kurosawa is married for 30 years and has decided to throw away his 30-year marriage to pursue Haruta. There's a whole secondary storyline with his wife Choco, because she thinks Haruta is going to be that person in the company who will help her. She's recruiting him to help find the woman, the hussy who see her husband. There's of course Maki confessing to Haruta as well, letting him know that he also has feelings for him. Busting into the shower, my favorite part, where he's like, I know you said you like big boobs, but how about a big blick? I was like, oh my god, this is PG-13, so I thought I could watch it in the daytime with the kids, but maybe not. This is not what I expected. You gotta be aware of those PG-13s. But yeah, so Maki also confesses to him. There's a part where Maki takes back his confession. It's like, oh, it's just a joke. But then because he sees Kurosawa making the moves on Haruta, he's just like, screw it, I'm putting it out there. I'm in love with him and I know everything about him. You don't know the things I know about him. I know his flaws and I'm in love with those flaws too. So yeah, Maki and Kurosawa are both basically trying to get Haruta to fall for them. The difference is Maki is okay with just being friends, sorta, and Kurosawa is not okay with just being friends. He is pushing hard. He's ready to divorce his wife, begging for a divorce. We also have another person, Chizu, who is Haruta's childhood friend, who she's in love with him. And here's the thing though, this is like where I was like, if I would have been okay with Haruta ending up with either Maki or Chizu, like either one, because I felt like both were good matches for him. But I was completely against Kurosawa because I'm like, you're leaving your wife of 30 years, my guy, and trying to pressure this dude into falling for you. Nah, not having it. Some of my favorite my favorite character is Maika. So Sagawa Maika, or Mai Mai, she's my favorite character because the second like Haruta is in the office talking about his situation where a guy kissed him, she figured out who it was right away. She knew it was Haruta who got the kiss, and she knew what to ask. When Choco came into the office saying she's looking for looking at apartments, she knew right away, ooh, they're getting a divorce. Why do you think they're getting a divorce? You think he's seen somebody else? Oh, she was in everybody's business. I also really like Choco. She's just a likable character altogether because you really feel for her, even when she figures out it's Haruta. And she, like, when she's like hitting him and stuff, I'm like, you know what, Choco, I get where you're coming from, because that man helped you. She texted him to help her follow her husband, and he did. He helped her follow her husband to the restaurant he's supposed to meet her husband on a date for. I was like, I would have hit him too. Like, dude, so you couldn't tell me it was you? I'm out here looking for some hussy named Haruka, and I should have been looking at Haruta? She's like turning him into a confidant. Like, she has no one else to turn to but this one really sweet dude. And he's the person she's complaining about. Anyway, we also find out Maki has actually dated someone else in the company, Masumin, what's his name again? Takegawa, who's the chief sales officer, who was like really hard on him. And because of that, Haruta thinks that, Takegawa has a crush on me as well, and then realizes, oh no, it's him and Maki. He and Maki have a thing going on. This leads us to a scene where he is like relieved because it turns out Takegawa and Maki are together. And what was going on with Kurosawa? I don't remember. He was like, oh, none of the men like me. I'm good. I don't have to worry about any of this anymore. Or he turned to Kurosawa down. So he's like, I'm good. I'm clear. I'm clean. I don't have any men coming after me. And then when Maki is talking about moving out, he's like, all right, well, I'm just gonna leave. He's like, no, please don't leave. Maki is like, I can stay if we're gonna be together. And he's like, okay, yeah, let's be together. Let's be a couple. Like, he is so easily swayed into it. And he and Maki start like dating. And the thing about it is, you can see from Maki's perspective where he's not sure if this is serious dating or not. But you start to see that that's just the way Haruta is. He takes it nice and slow. And even when he gets a confession from Chizu, someone who he's supposed to have always liked, he turns her down because he's really into Maki. Which is where we get to Maki, leaving because he wants Haruta to, be in a relationship that Haruta's mother is going to accept, and his mother is going to accept him settling down with a woman and having grandkids and blah 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 with that woman. So he leaves. And what happens after they break up? Does he and Chizu finally get together? No. Because then it would have been I guess ending. No. Kurosawa wormed his way in to Haruta's house, just basically started visiting to help him clean up. Let me take care of you. You just went through a breakup. And then basically just slowly moved into the man's house. And then Haruta just accepted the fact that he's now in a relationship with his boss. Just accepted it. Like, no question. Like, all right, well, I guess I'm dating him now. And then when his boss hired a flash mob to propose to him in public, which is why I'm against public proposals. Like, unless you and the person you're proposing to have discussed marriage before, and it's clear that you guys are in a place where like, yeah, I'd love to get married one day. Then public proposal, cool. But you've never discussed marriage ever, don't do that, because it's like pressuring them into marrying you or into accepting it and saying yes because they're in public. And that's what happens to Haruta. Even though if they were in private, he probably would have said yes to like save Kurosawa's feelings. But yeah, he accepted the marriage proposal. Not only accepted the marriage proposal, invited people to their wedding, had a party before the wedding. He made the board for their wedding, the welcome board for the reception with their pictures on it, and then went to the wedding hall where they were going to have their private ceremony, just the two of them. How romantic. Yeah, the ceremony isn't completed because finally Kurosawa is like, yeah, I had a feeling that you still had feelings for Maki. Then why were you were hoping that he would just go through it. Basically what happened was the minister was like, you may now kiss the groom. He was like thinking about Maki's kisses. And Kurosawa was like, all right, well, if you can't kiss me with love, let's not do this. And he goes running, searching for Maki. Maki! I love you, Maki! Stay right there! I love when he broke his heel. I really love the scene where he broke his heel because we see it all the time with not as much as they used to do, but you'll see like a female character running in her heels and then the heel breaks. In this time, it's a male character running in his shoes and his heel breaks and he has to take off his shoe and run barefoot. Like, that was a really nice, cute, like, thing that they did that I really like. What I also find interesting, like, there's scenes throughout it where it's so obvious Haruta... I'm like... Why are you going through with this? He's going, who wears the dress? Me or the director? And Chizu has to be like, you can both wear tuxedos. And he's like, oh, yeah. And then there was a part where he was talking to Maki. He's like, wait, so are you the boyfriend or am I the boyfriend? Or am I the girlfriend? Maki's just like, I'm just going to go. I'm not even going to address this. Got my drink to the side. This show, if you haven't watched it, I'm sure I've spoiled a lot of it. Just watch it. It's so funny. It's so good. I know there's a season 2. I haven't seen season 2 yet. And apparently there is a twist season as well, where instead of it being in the office, it's like a whole reboot. And the only people I recognized right away were the actor who played Haruta and the actor who plays Kurosawa on the poster. I was just looking at the poster. And it looks like they returned for the reboot where instead they're pilots. And it's like the whole story redone. So it's like, for example, like the special scene in mangas where they switch it up, like what if it's the what if season. That's what it is. It's the what if season. So I kind of want to watch the what if season as well, because I've seen varying reviews. I've seen people who fully enjoy it and are like, you know, just it's just a different show, same characters, same storyline, or same plot devices, but completely different show. So I want to check that out as well. I want to watch season 2, see what season 2 is about, because it looks like all the actors return for season 2. And there's also, which I found interesting, I need to double check this, but I swear it says there's a Hong Kong version of Ossan's Love. I watched a bit of it. It's definitely in Chinese language, either Cantonese or Mandarin. I wish I was so great that I'd be like, oh yeah, I know exactly which language this is, but I'm not. I just know it's Chinese. So if it is Hong Kong, then that means it's Cantonese, I believe. But I would assume it's Taiwan, which is why I was caught off guard, because it said 2021. I want to think it said. So that's why I was caught off guard, because I was thinking it would be Taiwan, not Hong Kong. But yeah, I believe it's a Hong Kong version called Ossan's Love or Dead, which is also what the second season of the Japanese version is called, which is still in the business office. And then the third season, which is the what if episode, or the what if season, is Ossan's Love in the Sky. Love in the Sky. Speaking of Rain and Payu. Anyway. Wait, no, Love in the Sky is Sky's story. All right. So anyway, coming back to this, overall though, like, because of how much I enjoyed the show, how much I laughed, especially how much I laughed, like, this was cracking me up every episode. I did not expect it to be this funny. I thought it was going to be more of a drama, because I'm so, but I just didn't expect it to be as funny as it is. It's so good. I had to give this one definitely for me, it's a high 8.5, like, because of course there's little things in the story and I'm like, oh my god, cringy, but it's such a good, like, everything else. It was so entertaining. Like I said, I was laughing like crazy. I love Haruta and Maki and all the different things, like, especially like those scenes where you start to see where Haruta, like, you know, like, there's parts where Haruta is uncomfortable with being touched or being kissed and stuff like that, but you see it kind of just, like, I get it. Because, like, they're very early in the dating phase, so he's not ready to fully, like, hey, let's skinship. He's not ready for skinship, but he's ready for the feelings that come with dating and going through the motions of dating. And eventually he gets to the point where he's good with skinship. He's like, they're holding hands, or they're doing this, or they're doing that. So it gets to the point where he's skinship is good. And then, of course, eventually where he's comfortable with kissing as well. And I feel like that's normal. There are a lot of people who, they take their time. Like, back when I was dating, if you kissed me on the first date, you're never getting called back. You're never getting nothing. I'm not texting you. I'm blocking your number. How dare you kiss me? So, you know, I get that. I was worried where they were gonna go with Kurosawa from the beginning, but because I was like, he's a stalker. This man is just taking pictures of his employee. Am I supposed to see this as romantic? So I was worried how far they were gonna take it with his character and everything, and I feel like everything worked out to where I understood his character. He's still crazy. He's still a psycho. He's not, if you've watched Secret Crush on You, he's not at Toe's level of stalking, but he's a stalker. He's a stalker. He moved himself into the man's house. And I love how Choco is finding out her husband is in love with someone else, and she's going through the heartbreak of losing her marriage, and she's still like, all right, well, let me help you hit on this dude. Like, oh my God, I love her. I like the fact that she went through that. That's a strong woman right there, because I wouldn't help. Like, oh damn, he turned you down? All right, well, let's go file this divorce. Oh, here's to never seeing you again. But she, you know, it was 30 years, so she of course still loved him, cared for him, and maintained a friendship with her ex-husband. Like, Choco was just awesome. She was just awesome. Yeah, like I said, 8.5 out of 10, because I was thoroughly entertained. Only a few things here or there that I would have sort of maybe changed here and there. I see that I believe Hong Kong version is 15 episodes, so it's longer, because Ossan's Love was, I just finished it and I can't remember how many episodes. I think 7 episodes. Yeah, it was 7 episodes. And those 7 episodes were 40 minutes a piece. So yay. We got like a full part of me feels like 40 minutes was too long for it, though, only because of the comedic aspect, because of how funny it was. I felt like the episodes were too long for that kind of humor, but overall, loved the show. Love everything about it. Can't wait to watch season 2. Can't wait to watch the What If season, and I can't wait to watch the Hong Kong version of the show. Definitely check it out. It's the first season is available on Viki Rakuten, and so is the Love in the Sky one. That's the What If season, is also available on Viki Rakuten. So check it out. I will try to remember to post a link. So thank you so much for listening to this episode, and I hope you have a wonderful morning, good evening, good afternoon, and good night, whatever it is, wherever you are.